Live.
We're live now. What's going on? What's going on, folks? Welcome to another Hangout with We Got Leagues. It's your host once again, Mr. Andre Smith. I'm here with my colleagues. We got Buddy McGirt.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Memorial Day weekend edition. Hopefully everybody's grilling out and having fun this weekend.
And we also have my man D. John joining us this week. What's going on, D. John?
Doing pretty good, fellas. Thanks for having me. It's been a good weekend. It's good to be on the podcast, and hope everybody's doing well.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, Jatavion Clowney. Thanks for coming from Houston and letting us know how things are. So we got the Under Armour headband, and I had to get it. But it's it's a beautiful Sunday. Weather's nice everywhere that matters anyway. If it's not nice, you're not in a place that matters. But we got the NBA playoffs kicking in. We in the finals on both sides. We got the Indiana Pacers versus the Miami Heat in the East, and we got the Spurs versus the Oklahoma City Thunder in the West. It's been pretty interesting so far. Kind of want to hear you guys' takes on what's going on in the playoffs, surprises, things like that. How you feel about it? We'll start off with my man D. John. How you feel about those playoffs, bro?
Man, the playoffs actually have been really good. Sometimes in a few rounds you get a lot of 4-1 series kind of early. I expected Miami to kind of roll through the first couple rounds of the playoffs, but the playoffs have been good. As far as last night's game, I thought the Pacers really kind of got away from what they were doing on offense, and LeBron James and D Wade definitely in sync together. And in the Western Conference Finals, I don't know if Ibaka's playing tonight or not, but I know for me, I expect the Spurs to win that series kind of going forward. So I don't know who's going to win in the East, man, but I'm just glad the series are good.
How about you, buddy?
Well, I think I was talking the other night about Game 2, and I think that was Indiana's must-win game. They're not going to beat Miami in Miami, and they can be beat in Indiana. So I think Miami is probably going to win it 4-1. I'm going 4-1. I don't think they lose again. They get them down 3-1 after they win the next game. Indiana's not going to be able to stop them the last game. And if Chris Bosh shows up, it's definitely going to be over with 4-1. I'll say with the Spurs, I wanted OKC to get another chance back at Miami, but I don't see it. They have to win tonight. They have to win tonight, Ibaka or not. If they don't win tonight, it's pretty much over with. I can see that one maybe going 6 games if Ibaka comes back. If not, it may go 5 games, 4-1 as well. I think we may be in the finals by next weekend. But all in all, it's been good. I think this is Miami's last hurrah. I don't think they will be able to do it again next year. They're looking older than the Spurs to me. Besides the big three and Bosh isn't playing that good, they're looking older than the Spurs. Kawhi Leonard is keeping the energy going on over there, and Manu's being Manu. But this is probably Miami's last hurrah. So if they don't win it this year, I don't think they can come back with this same team and win it. And if they do, I still don't think they can come back with the same team and win it.
I agree. As far as my outlook, the whole season, I saw Indiana look like they were on a mission. They built their team to go beat Miami. That's all they've been gearing up, and they get into the playoffs, and they're playing against the AFC in Atlanta, and they kind of took them light. But then when it was time to flick the switch, they flicked the switch, got them out of there. Same thing happened in the second round. But when it's time to flick the switch, they flicked the switch, got them out of there. So now they're playing Miami. They come out game 1 and beat them, and I'm like, whoa, Indiana, that's what they've been waiting for all season. This is what they're ready for. And LeBron and really Dwayne Wade, who, if this was the NBA Finals, would win the Finals MVP, because Wade's been playing not just good on offense, but good on defense. I mean, he's taken upon himself to guard Paul George in stretches now. If you're not an avid basketball fan, there's a significant height and weight difference between Paul George and Dwayne Wade. But Dwayne Wade has taken upon himself to guard Paul George and take him out the game at points. I mean, you'll watch the Indiana game and look at Paul George's stat line. He's 4 for 16, 5 for 21. It's not pretty. He's frustrated out there. He's looking like he was looking in the earlier series, even though in Game 1 they looked so strong. So I've really been surprised with how dominant Miami has looked since losing that first game. Going forward, Game 4 is an absolute must-win for Indiana. They have to win this next game. That will give them home court advantage back, and that will give them the opportunity. They just got to win 2 out of 3, and 2 of the games, they're back at home. They're not going to be on the road. So they got to win this next one tomorrow. If they don't, you guys can go ahead and get the Miami Heat Eastern Conference Finals, Eastern Conference champion shirts ready. As far as on the Western Conference side, it's the Spurs. I mean, it's the Spurs. The Thunder stand no chance. The Thunder got the doctors ejecting Serge Ibaka with whatever chemical they can find, whether it be the venom that the Green Goblin had in Spider-Man 2 or some crazy Animanian or whatever it is, man. They're trying to get him walking out there. All that's going to do is, I think it's going to further injure him and make his recovery even longer, to the point where he's not going to be ready to play beginning of next season if they got him out there looking foolish. 2 people cannot beat the Spurs. It took a prayer from Miami to beat them last year, and it wasn't any of the big 3 that are normally would be the team if you're playing against Miami. And this year, the Spurs have got even better, where I don't even think 3 or 4 players can beat them. You got to have a team that's 6, 7 deep to go beat the Spurs in 4 games out of 7. And there's no team that does that. They do things that, I mean, I'm seeing people like, Danny Green is dribbling now, and Tony Parker is dribbling less and focusing on, make a decision, go get the points. Tiago Splitter is better than anyone thought he was going to be. They're getting production from Patty Mills off the bench when it's time for Tony to go sit down. Manny Ginobili might go buy a new hairpiece because he's playing like he's young again. I mean, I'm just really impressed with the Spurs, because I didn't have them coming out the West. I didn't have them getting this far. I wanted the Clippers, I believe I said before, and it's just not looking like anybody can stop the Spurs. So, like I said, I'm happy with the playoffs. I'm getting ready to watch the game when it comes on later on this evening. I'll eat a rib or something and watch that, but that's my take on it. What you got next for us, buddy?
Okay. The big game this week, Watch Dogs. Now, that's a game that...
Woo!
That's a game that...
Right now. I'm hacking right now.
We all went from 2 E3s ago saying, holy crap, this is the newest thing ever, to last E3 feeling like, wait, what's going on, to plenty of pushbacks and everybody kind of like pushing it to the side burner, and then within the last month it just picked up steam again. I've been watching streams. I watched IGN stream. I watched the Ubisoft dev stream, and the biggest thing that everybody's worried about, it's graphically not good. Graphics don't matter all the time. The game looks freaking amazing when it comes to gameplay. It looks fun. Looks like it's going to hold my attention. It looks like it's a open world game a la the GTAs, but a different twist. So it's not Sleeping Dogs all over again. It's not other games that were open world, or Saints Row that just took GTA and ran with it and just made it silly or took it towards the triads. It's an actual different game with it being open world. And GTA rules the open world genre, but Watch Dogs is giving us a different twist and something we haven't played. It's kind of sort of like, it's kind of sort of like we're able to be more into the game. There's more options. There's the hacking and all that stuff that we haven't really done. There's certain games, like there was a game called Remember Me that kind of had it, but it wasn't open world, and it kind of brought everything together with the Watch Dogs. So I'm super excited. Anybody who already has it, just know that I don't like you too much right now, and I can't wait till Tuesday. So, Dre, how do you feel about Watch Dogs?
Well, I'm super excited for it. I pre-ordered the game and months ago. I mean, I've just been hyped for it. They've had some of the greatest marketing commercials I've seen. My favorite one, I don't know if you guys have seen it, and we're posting on the site if you guys haven't, is the one where it's real life people.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy goes into the cell phone store, and the guy puts the app that helps him hack, and he's like doing stuff that you can do in the game in real life. And the people are like going crazy. It's one of my favorites. We'll post a link later on if you guys haven't seen that one. But I'm super excited. I've been watching the Twitch gameplay. I don't normally do that a lot, and I only did it for a little bit with this, just to kind of make sure everything I'm excited about it was on the game. And once I saw that it was, I cut it off because I don't want too much stuff given away. I'm very big about figuring out stuff myself. So once it's set in Chicago, I wanted to know that. I wanted to know it played smooth. I wanted to kind of see what the graphics were like. I wanted to see some of the features. The online multiplayer was probably my favorite one that I've seen as far as features. And everyone looks like the main character online to themselves, but when you're online, they look like a whole bunch of different people, and you can hack into each other's phones and hack into each other's business and stuff. So that really got me excited. Trying to decide which console to get it for has been big for me. I've got it for PS4 coming this Tuesday. But if enough people are on Xbox, I mean, I may get both. Who knows? You know what I mean? They're giving away 30% extra for all next-gen games everywhere you go anyway. Target was doing like triple the amount, so I may get it for both. But playing against friends online is always big for me, and keeping that open world stuff going. It looks like it's like GTA with added features, with a new twist, and like Buddy was saying, so that's what I'm really excited about getting into, and just having a game that's not a sport game that I can still get into and enjoy, because I haven't had that since GTA, and that was a letdown with the absence of heists and stuff. So I'm hoping that Ubisoft just make sure that the content is there. Anything they said was going to be in the game is either already there or it's going to be delivered within a month. I don't want to wait 9, 10, 11 months to get features that we were promised from the beginning. As long as they do that, they got a happy customer here with me.
Bijan, how do you feel about Watch Dogs?
Man, let me tell you, I stayed away from all reviews, all gameplay videos, all rumors. I stayed away from everything. Like, I will look on Twitter and see that, graphics are being downscaled, which, by the way, happens to every game that comes out for these systems. Everything's downscaled for the most part. I stayed away from it all, because the way I like to view games is when people get them early and they play them on Twitch. A lot of times they do random stuff, because I figure I can look with my eyes and get a better review on the game than reading it from IGN. And that's no disrespect to those guys who are just doing their job, giving their opinion or anything like that. But you can't really let other people's opinions on a game, no matter what it is, kind of sway yours. So once people started getting it early, I've been watching it, on my PlayStation 4, watching the streams and everything, and it looks great. It looks great. Graphically, it looks good. It's a pretty open world game, and it's really immersive. And that was the main thing that I was looking for. Another open world game, just to kind of piggyback off what Dre was saying. I'm big into sports games too, but I needed another game besides Madden, besides other games, besides 2K to kind of play, and being able to hack with the phones and do little side missions, and the cinematic cutscenes is very nice, man. So I think I'm going to get it for my PlayStation 4 as well, just for the simple fact that I need more games for it so I can really play it. I got some friends up there that are one console people, so I want to play the game with them. So yeah, I'm really excited for it, man. It looks great, and I might even get it for the Xbox One as well, so I can play with the other members of We Got Leads and going forward, man. So I'm excited. I really am excited.
Definitely. Shaggy, how do you feel about Watch Dogs? I know you were pretty excited about it. You're also a resident. You worked at GameStop, so you're big on games, and I know you probably know a little bit more than we do. So give us your take on it.
Well, you're right about one thing. I was hyped about it, and the key mention was that I was hyped for it to drop out last year around the consoles dropping. It was one of my big reasons to getting the PS4, and they pushed it back, probably for the better. But then my attention for it died down, and I just started looking elsewhere. That being said, I am looking forward to playing it. I do have it on GameFly. I don't think I'm going to buy it for now at the time, only because, I'm pretty sure, because my hype has gone down for it. I like, my day one purchase for it kind of was like, oh, all right, hell, I'm more hyped for Wolfenstein than I am right now for Watch Dogs. And that's only because, and I don't want to say it's because Wolfenstein's out and Watch Dogs isn't, you know, kind of feel what I'm saying. But I mean, the game's immersive. It's something new that we'll be playing. The multiplayer is there if you want to play it. The story, I like the fact that Ubisoft's kept the story for the most part under wraps. You don't see a lot of people talking about the story, or you don't see they show what's going on, but they never explain what's like how deep you're going to be in with the character, who's he running from, who's he trying to get back at, none of that too much. That being said, that could be a good thing or a bad thing, because if there's no interesting story except for a guy just out getting revenge and escaping the cops, or like, oh, some evil corporation, then what do you got? Then what are you playing? It's something else that you'd rather be playing. The thing that actually made me like Grand Theft Auto was that the character development and the story was there. Mm-hmm. I could care less about multiplayer, because if I want multiplayer, that's why I play sports games. There's no story in sports games. You know what I'm saying? So the multiplayer aspect is a little low for me, but however, if it's fun, I'll play. If not, it's not. If it doesn't work like Grand Theft Auto, it's not the end of the world, because that's not what that game is for. It's an add-on. But I will be getting it hopefully by GameFly efforts, probably Tuesday.
We'll have it Wednesday. We'll have it Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah. So you know how it is. But you know, if I like it, I'll buy it. Cheap from GameFly, but then also say what system I'm getting on is going to be on the PS4 as well. This is one of those titles I was looking forward to on the PS4 to drop, besides baseball, and you know, because eventually all you guys will be playing Xbox One games anyway. That's our home. We already know majority of us have that, so it's just something to expand. It's, hey, I got this. I didn't buy this $400 Blu-ray player just to sit here.
Exactly, and then not only that, to piggyback on that too, Ubisoft and Sony have had a relationship for years. So you already know getting the Watch Dogs game for PlayStation 4 is going to get you extra levels, extra missions.
Actually, out of the box, you get 60 minutes extra from the Xbox One version. That'll probably come later as DLC on Xbox One, but you get another hour of game of missions and stuff on the PS4. So that's why I went that way, because I'm basically playing it for the single player. Yep. And it also comes to with me, I use my Xbox more for my multiplayer games. If it's something that I don't want to be bothered, because you playing Xbox, you see people popping online playing certain things, you'll switch. You won't really pay attention. So I kind of play my single player games on the PS4, because the multiplayer and the interaction isn't as good as it is on the Xbox. So I went with the PS4. And also, Shaggy brought up Wolfenstein. I actually got that, and I haven't played it yet, but I'll for everybody that's watching, I probably will be streaming it tonight at 9 p.m. from the PS4. Just going through from the beginning of the game, just playing it. So if you want to know what Wolfenstein is about, you'll see me playing tonight.
Because I totally have no clue what that game is about. So
it's a first-person shooter, a little bit kind of Call of Duty, kind of futuristic, but you know, it's an older title that they kind of brought back. So
I've been a huge fan of Wolfenstein for a long time, because I'm just a big nerd. So to see it come back, I'm like, hey, that's awesome. But the one for Xbox, the one that came on the 360 was a little bit, you know, it wasn't all that great. But, you know, and then this one comes out, you're like, oh, whatever. And then you're looking at everything else. It's like, oh, this is actually really good with the single player. And, of course, I personally want to buy it because they actually have the Doom beta, and I fucking love Doom. Sorry for my language if we're not doing that thing here. But, you know, it's that I see Dre in the background, because we all know his history with first-person shooters. Anything where you can see your guns, he know once.
Absolute trash. What's wrong? Absolute trash. Tell you that right now. That's the We Got Leagues Dre Smith review, trash.
TRASH.
Next week, Buddy will be on the Hangout saying he has sent it back to GameFly. It is trash.
Most likely, but that's why you get GameFly, folks, because you can just try things out and not have to worry about wasting your money all the way.
Yep.
Very true.
Worry about the good corporation screwing you.
All right, so I'm gonna let
If you
Drake.
don't want to get GameFly, the Dre Smith way is to just buy the game used from GameStop. You got 7 days, and then you take it back and say, "Oh, I didn't like it," and that's the Dre Smith way. You don't feel like getting GameFly.
That works. All right, so
Drake,
I used to love people like you, man. Working, to be like, hey, here you go, straight that shit in. Here you go. Take your money, sure, why not?
So Dre, UFC. I know you psyched about it.
Man, UFC, bruh. The roster got released this week, and some actual gameplay footage got released this week. Now, I'm not the biggest UFC avid watcher when it comes to real life. I watch the big name guys, like I said before, but this game right here, I'm gonna be on it like right on rice, man. Just beautiful, beautiful. It's one of those games where it looks so visually good that people who aren't fans of the real life genre are still going to get the game. We saw this with, Fight Night and even the old UFC. I mean, I was playing people who, weren't UFC fighters, UFC fans, but the game was so cool they created their own guy. And I remember texting my friend, "Yeah, man, my dude's 35, about to retire. His jaw's about to be broken," and stuff. It just was fun stuff. So super hyped about it. The roster list got released. This is the most fighters I've ever seen in a UFC game.
And I'm gonna update it later on today.
It's ridiculous how many. I mean, even the women, and not just Rousey and Misha Tate, but I mean Alexis Davis, Sarah Kaufman, Sarah McMahon, Kat Zingano, I believe. It's so many of them. All the champions from all the weight classes, from flyweight, bantamweight, featherweight. I mean, if you're a fan of UFC and you're like, "Man, I like this guy, but he's probably not going to be in the game," you're going to be very surprised when you turn that game on June 17th and he's sitting right there looking just like he's supposed to look. But like everything that has good stuff, there's also bad stuff as well. I'm upset they didn't go with the game. It didn't seem like it's super realistic, if you want to say that. It didn't seem like it's going to be like a sim UFC game, if that makes sense, because I felt like that would be boring to the average consumer, and then they're trying to sell to a wider base. If you're an avid UFC fan, you're going to get the game regardless. But if you're not and you get the game, they couldn't make it, as I'm trying to figure out the way to say this, as this sim.
Submersive.
Yes, submersive, and where if you'd watched that first round, that gameplay footage they released, and the guys were doing submissions and laying on each other for 20 seconds here, and they get up and then lay down on each other for 30 minutes here, and they adjusting and countering. It'd have been boring. So the whole video, you just see, here's my best punch, here's my best kick, here's my best elbow, here's my best cartwheel kick. The guy did a cartwheel kick. That's not going to happen in a real UFC fight. But if I'm to have the controller in my hand and I'm playing D-John or Shaggy or Buddy and I hit him with a cartwheel kick, you're going to hear me on that mic like, bro, pick your teeth up, bro. You're going to hear me going, your vocals change when you get excited. You're going to hear me doing that. So I like the aspect of it. But if you're an avid fighter, I guess, or avid watcher of UFC, you probably got to play against people who are also avid UFC fighters, because they're both going to go into that mindset that, okay, let's play this simulation style. It's kind of like the whole sim versus freestyle on Madden. If I want to play games that are like I'm going to see on Sunday, I want to play against a guy who plays like that. If I want to just put my best play out there and beat you, and it's the same thing with the UFC, I think. So that could be looked at as a negative. And then I'm pretty sure they didn't do 60 frames per second on the UFC, which was a disappointment as well. But, it is what it is. I know graphically it's going to be great because it's only 2 people in the ring. Even the ref looks good. They don't have to worry about, helmets and grass and all that extra stuff, or, basketball court and all that extra stuff. So I'm pretty excited.
So, Dijon, what I know you probably watched the first fight that they showed, first gameplay footage. What did you think of that?
Yeah, I got a chance to watch it, man. I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't watch UFC nearly as much as other people do, but I'm very excited for the game. Like, I'm trying to remember the last UFC joint I got. It's one of those games where it's kind of tough to make it sim because it is two people and it is a fighting game. And face it, we all want to see punches and ridiculous kicks and people getting flipped, stuff like that. So I think it's tough to kind of make a game like that that's really sim. But I'm excited for the game. They had me sold when Bruce Lee was going to be in it. Right when they told me Bruce Lee was going to be in the game, I'm like, I'm getting it. So I already got it pre-ordered. I'm gonna get it for the Xbox One. I'm excited for it, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna catch the fade on Twitch a few times, and there's gonna be tons of jokes about it on Twitter. That's gonna be the best part, when people Twitch those fights and people get knocked out and everybody's talking trash to each other. That's gonna be the best part. And then when the UFC tournament does get popping on We Got Leagues, I hope everybody has great internet because I want to see all those fights. I want to see people get knocked out and talking stuff. So that low key is gonna be dope because that's gonna get us through the summer. With that and a few other games to kind of play before the next cycle of sports games, like basketball and football come out. So yeah, man, I'm excited for the game and I'm excited to hand out some fades and probably catch more than I hand out too. So it'll be dope.
And Shaggy, I know you're a big UFC fan. What do you think of the whole created player mode that they were doing? How you feel like working that out?
That is something I've been wanting, especially, and I'm gonna name drop C2, C as well. That is something that I've been wanting in that UFC game since it came back into fruition with UFC Undisputed when it dropped on 360 and PS3. That is huge because the Ultimate Fighter is like a huge thing for them now. It's pretty much like their independent system where they go through that and they come up. Whoever wins in that house comes out and gets a contract. That is something that's intuitive to that, and that's huge because that's a lot of stuff that most real UFC fans like me actually ask. We asked for and we finally got it. Touch up on something, and to go with that creative player, to touch on something Dre was talking about, like disappointments. The fact that there's no fighter share kind of upsets me. So that means if I create a fighter, I can't put them online for other people to download, to have their own like simulated fights or fight up against me, fight against me and whatnot. So it kind of bugged me, but I understand because they don't want a lot of people. Copying, like, let's say we're going to make Floyd Mayweather, and he sees that, and he's like, okay, I'm going to sue. So I understand why they didn't do that. Or take John Jones and put him in Adidas when he has something with Nike. So I can understand why they did that. Also, when the fights went on, and they were it's like, it tried too hard to be. It wasn't fluid enough. It's like fists were flying everywhere. Now, granted, I kind of know what to look for with the takedowns and the stand-up game and everything else. I don't want to get into too much jargon because people might not know what I'm talking about. But it felt like it was too fast. But hopefully, that's probably just like the beta for right now. I don't think it's gone gold yet, not until probably next week or something. Something they could touch up on, or something from a patch, kind of slow it down. That being said, this is a great opportunity for most fans who don't like you or like Dre, or even our watchers now who don't watch UFC. But with this game, it can open up horizons, learning the fighters, learning the play, learning everything about the game. And about how the actual things are, and they expand, so you can actually watch when they have fights on Fridays and Saturdays, or like typically Saturdays, and then you just go on and watch that, and you'll be like, hey, I know that guy because his punches suck, but his ground game's amazing. So I've been looking forward for this for a long time.
Cool. So, Shaggy, get back on the mic. MLB The Show, you are the We Got Leagues commish of our MLB The Show League. First of all, we both want to thank you for taking on that job and running it smoothly. Just tell us something about it. Tell us how it's going. We all know, Sony's having the server issues, but just tell us how it's going. To a certain extent, you know.
All right. I'll leave the negative out right now, because that's gonna be too easy to touch on, and we'll get on that like a little lighter in a lighter sense. I want to thank everyone who has joined, who's watched. Thank you for joining. Honestly, this wouldn't have been fun without the 30 people that actually, joined up and played, and then get your games out on opening day for We Got Leagues. And this is perfect for us for we can expand our horizons on, on other consoles and on other games. That's what we're here for. We're not just about Madden. We're about everything. Anything we get our hands on and we think we can make competition out of, we're gonna have. That's what we try to do at We Got Leagues. And for us to have MLB The Show, which is one of my favorite games, I have a league for that. It's actually worth it, I feel like I've seen a lot of stats, some stats from people playing their first games out, and a lot of people, it looks like some people are still kind of learning how to play and get their pitch timing down and their swing times down. But I see as the second day, the first day, somebody had 20 strikeouts. Don't know how that happened, just 20 strikeouts. And wait, did you beat my record? Did you beat my record opening day, Dre?
Hey, Strasburg, man.
How many strikeouts did you have? Because I had 20.
Me and Fake Dope DJ. I think Fake Dope DJ had 21 with his pitcher, but I still won. I had less with Strasburg, but I won because I was able to get a home run off one of them.
It went down. When did yours go out? When did the game end? What inning?
The ninth. It was in the ninth.
Walk off, or did you just go into that and pitch really good towards the end?
I went into it. It was tight both ways. Both of us were pitching tight and getting the counts in our favor, and able to strike the other person out. But one thing, the hitting is so tough on there because you got to hit it even earlier than you would, offline.
And that's because of the lag too.
That's because of the lag. So the thing that confused me with that though, when I pitch though, there's no lag on that on my pitching. I hit it and then I hit it again and it stops immediately. So that's confusing, when you go hit. But by about the 5th or 6th inning, we were getting hits. It just, it wasn't like, it was ground outs or flies. We were hitting the ball at least.
Y'all making contact.
Yeah, making contact. So then 7th, he got close, and one of my outfielders caught it. It wasn't Bryce, but one of my outfielders caught it. And then in the 8th, top of the 8th, I came and hit a home run. And then Strasburg just closed it out. And then I put in Rafael Soriano in the bottom of the 9th to finish him off. It was nice, man. It was fun. It was fun, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm definitely enjoying the league for sure. Between that and Road to the Show, I play baseball probably second most in the house.
Yeah, man. I mean, and you've never really played a baseball game like that, have you?
Not at all. Like I said, I picked Washington because I know 2 players on the team, and I don't know any players on the other team, and I'm learning more about the game as I go. Like, I didn't know what a balk was. You guys are talking about balks on Twitter. And I was like, what the hell is balk? So I Googled it, and now I know what a balk is. And, hey, it never really happened to me when I wasn't playing, So, but I'm learning stuff about the game, learning stuff about baseball in reality, which is fun. And just keep, I keep playing it and keep having fun with the game because graphically it's so beautiful. And the minor gameplay things you may not like aren't significant enough where it's like a major glitch or a major issue where you don't want to play the game as opposed to, it being something so big you just take the game back. So
yeah, it's other than the online stuff, which I knew from the get-go was going to be a problem. I was hoping it wouldn't be too big of a problem, but then it happened to where I was like, all right, this is starting to get unplayable because of the fact that people would go in and play their games. And it wouldn't save, and there was no real clear-cut way for me. It's not like Madden where I can just let somebody play, do like 8, to give them the autopilot and let them go from there. I had to keep simming the game until that person won. Like if me and you played and you beat me, but it cut out and it didn't save, I would have to sim that for you to keep going. And and my team might be better than yours, so it might take a while for you to try to win that game. minor nuisance, but I think what really bothered me was the fact that people were completing their games and they won't save. That was
that's almost like a 2K server issue. Like that's why the We Got League's NBA 2K14 league didn't go off, because people would set aside an hour or two and play. You know, you play 2K, you probably go knock out 3-4 games in a night, and maybe one would save to the server. And it's like, you know, how do you know you're not wasting your time? It makes you not want to play the game. So I'm hoping that they fix that. San Diego Studios is who makes MLB. It's not like they have a whole bunch of games to manage on their servers, so I'm not sure why that issue is reoccurring over and over and over again.
They're low key notorious for that, but the game is so good people kind of don't care about it. And this is their first online franchise that they've ever done. They've done a season mode, but this is their first online franchise. So this is a lot more meat and potatoes, just some normal meet up, play, and then move on. But me personally, I want to get this kind of going. I want it because a lot of people look like they're having fun playing the games, not understanding what a balk is, because that started to happen a lot. It was funny. It's like, hey man, it's like, will I leave them on and leave them off? I was kind of like, well, people are still learning, and I don't want them to get discouraged. I figured, hey, I'll cut balks off until we get into the playoffs. Then all bets are off. You're going to be playing like realistically up until, because at that point, if you don't know how to pitch, that's on you. I feel as though we have a stop in the league, and I want to keep it kind of going until they figure what's going on. So I'm thinking about hosting a tournament, because at least I know I can knock that out over the course of like 3 days. People off. I might do something. I might even try to do a last-minute one between like the next 2 days, between today and Tuesday. Might get some games in, see what's going on. Because hell, I'm waiting. Dre, I'm waiting to play you, man. I'm seeing what's going on. But then again, I don't want to beat you, bro, and get discouraged, man. Because that's, you see it. That's what I'm about. This is my Madden, bro. If I can go to the tournament on this, I would.
Dijon, what do you think? You're also in the league too. It's good that we have all people, dual console wielders, on here. What do you think about the league, Dijon?
I enjoy MLB, the show, the league, the game. I enjoy everything about it. The main thing that's frustrating is what you guys already touched on, is the server issues. I played a game yesterday. The game went to the 7th inning. You know, great pitching. It was a pitcher's battle, as a lot of games are. We don't know how to hit. And I had chopped the ball foul, and then the game just stopped. It just froze. And I'm sitting there for like 10 minutes, and it's just stuck on the player. Mind you, the system is just fine. You know, the system is running smooth. PS4 is running smooth, and it just kind of, it freezes out. And it's frustrating because I have friends who, just like me, this is my first MLB game in a long time. Like, I hadn't played an MLB game since 2K was still making theirs for the 360. So, you know, I figured I'd get back into it, and it's frustrating because, again, you don't know if you're wasting your time on it. And MLB games do take kind of long. The pace is different. It's more of a patient kind of game, and people don't want to spend that time, you know, playing a game against somebody that's really good, and then it just freezes out of nowhere. And it's not like it freezes because y'all internet is bad. No, it just freezes because the servers.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that part of it's frustrating. But online aside, the game plays great. Plays great, feels great.
And that's the beauty thing about it, man. As long as the gameplay, long as you enjoy the game itself, you know, you don't have a problem. That's what I'm trying to get people. And then this is their first, like, just like you, this is the first time for a lot of people, and I just don't, you know, I don't want them to get discouraged. I've been playing this. This is the only reason why I even touched a PS3 in the first place. Now, granted, I had a PS2, but around that same time, MVP Baseball was out, so I really wasn't playing it. But when the PS3 dropped, MLB The Show 09, that's the only reason why I even bought it. Like I said, I gotta have it. There's no other baseball game worth a damn. Not anything from the glorious 2K. This made me want a PS4 and 3. But you know, and I get people hyped on that, and I enjoyed it. You know, and you just enjoy playing the games because there's nothing like, we all play Madden. There's nothing like having a really good competition and then letting it come down in the last second when you win that game. Because when look at Dre winning in the 8th, pretty much locking it up for him. And then when I won that game against Rehab with the walk-off home run, bottom of the ninth, you can't think it. There's no better way to end a baseball game like that, other than no hitter or perfect game or something like that. Something crazy. But stuff like that is amazing. You only get that in baseball. Not too many games could do that.
And I totally agree. And what's so great about baseball that I'm starting to appreciate, like Dijon was saying when he was talking about his review and saying with you, Shaggy, it's such a patient man's game. It's not going to be 37-30. You know what I mean? So 85% of your baseball games, especially once you get good and you can play both sides, are going to be defensive. Take your time, pick your spots. 3-5, 3-1. 1-1 going into the 8th inning, like slow-paced games like that. So every game has that heightened sense of, oh man, okay, I got to get a hit here. Let me pinch hit with this guy, then let me sacrifice fly with this next guy and get this guy in scoring position. And I only got one out. Like, let me do stuff like that. You don't think about that with football or basketball. It's just I want to score more points. You know what I mean?
It's like, yeah, let me outscore this dude. Now, and even in baseball, I can outscore you. But that don't mean that you can't get you can't have like a glorious inning, like you can't get like grand slams and then tie the game up. We got a whole new game.
Right.
So it's only certain people appreciate it, and they don't have patience for it. And I understand that, but when you have the time to think of a strategy to beat your opponent, it's nothing's better than that. Nothing's better than having a strategy to beat your opponent other than sheer dominance.
Mm-hmm. Like baseball is one of them rare games where it really helps to go look at your opponent's lineup, look at your opponent's pitcher that he's starting that day, and really basing your strategy based off what you see, like they do. With football, if I love to run zone defense, I'm gonna run it no matter what your guys are. So I'll see you beat me. But with baseball, you can't say, all right, well, last game I was pitching fastballs in the bottom corner and was killing them, so I'm gonna do that again this next game. No, it's not gonna work. So, like I said, I like it. I enjoy it. I hope the server issues get fixed and we can take it to that next level when it comes to we got league and we got MLB.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate sim game next to FIFA and NHL. I haven't played NHL, but I hear nothing but good things about it. MLB The Show are so sim. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a chess match when you play those games. I know for MLB The Show, I had gotten to the 7th inning. I was actually pitching with Francisco Liriano, as a matter of fact. And he wasn't tired yet. I only had 50 pitches. I think they were even in the strike zone and even outside the strike zone. It was a good pitcher's duel. But I was like, well, he has the heart of his order coming up, so let me intentionally load the bases here so I can get a force anywhere. And I ended up pulling. I got a force out at home, and I got like a double play later in the inning to end it. And I think that's really gratifying.
Gutsy, man.
Yeah. Like people like a game that's so strategically motivated, basically, because there's no glitches. Like, it's not like you can sit here and be like, okay, if I press left trigger and then hold the right stick up, this will be a home run every time, regardless. It's very simple. So, people want to be rewarded for playing or, strategizing very well. So I enjoy the game, man. I just hope to get all the stuff fixed online.
Absolutely. Buddy, you've been over there quiet, man.
Yeah, tell us your experience, my man.
My experience is I have to stop drinking beers and trying to hit the ball on the game. I ain't nothing when I'm drinking beers. But yeah, definitely. The game is fun. I like Road to the Show. I played last year's version, the year before that, so I've always done that. Actually carried my wanted to carry my character over because I thought that's what they were going to allow you to do, and I'm not sure if that's correct, but I know next year you'll be able to do that.
No. You can anything you save now. I know the season mode you can transfer over. I'm not 100. Just like you figured, I'm not 100% sure on your Road to Show, but they do have that cemented into the game.
Is it from 13 to 14 or just 14 to 14?
14 to 15, not 13 to 14.
Okay. But yeah, it's pretty much fun. I've had server issues trying to run my game so far, so I haven't really got any in. But I've played a few online, and like I said, the game is fun. I'm not a big. I played softball till I got old. Messed my knee up again, but so I kind of played the game a little bit and was into it. But like I said, it's fun, enjoyable. It's actually a sport. It's like there's not too many sports games where you can really enjoy it playing by yourself, and that's what another thing I like about it, because it's not fast paced, and you don't. And the biggest thing about it is the computer is really smart on MLB. I think MLB has the best AI out of all the sports games that I play. So you don't feel like you're just playing. You can spam the computer and do certain things in that game. So it's fun whether you're playing with somebody else or without anyone. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Now let me ask you a question, buddy. Do you swing at everything, or do you actually kind of look? Because I know there's people out there criminal of swinging at damn near everything they see. And that takes.
When I had a couple beers, every pitch looks good to me.
Oh man, this looks like it's gonna go in the dirt. Hold on, I can swing at it.
Good.
Nope.
But
reading pitches, man. Reading pitches, man. That skill of being able to read a pitch on that game is tougher than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, definitely is.
Because those pitches have so much of a realistic, like the sliders slide, the curves. I mean, it's so realistic. You like, okay, it's definitely going to be right here. And
it's to the point, Dre. It'll be to the point to where you can hit anything, but it's always going to be that one pitch that's going to put your ass down, and you're going to be sick. Me, it's the slide. It went from the curveball to the slider. I can't stand sliders.
Yeah, I can't hit a slider to save my life.
Nope.
I can't hit a curveball to save my life. I can't.
I'm putting all this in the notepad, fellas. Like all y'all on schedule.
Go ahead, bro. Because I already know you can't swing a shit, so we all right. Like, so, knuckleball.
Next thing, this week we had before that we had the New Rules League, and it kind of died out and everything like that. And since we're coming to the end of Madden's cycle, everybody is getting on that I want to win. So our buddy over there, Dre, decided to run a Freestyle Rivals League where everyone that's normally in the leagues got into divisions with people that they're rivals with, and it's completely freestyle, no rules except for milking the clock, no glitch plays. And it seems like everybody's having fun. I didn't get a chance to be in it. I missed out on it, but
Weird.
But seems like everybody's having fun. Everybody's enjoying it. Satisfied some of the people in our leagues who missed the Freestyle League not running anymore. So everything's running good. So I'll let Dre take it from here because that's his brainchild, what he thought of. So I'll let him go from there.
Well, really, the whole thinking when it came with the Freestyle League, I was the commissioner of No Tears. Watch out, man. Hey, always trying to get camera time, dog. Don't get light-skinned dogs, man. I was commissioner of No Tears, and I've been watching BCCL and all that, and just daily, someone would play a game and it'd be some kind of complaint. Because it's once you get towards the end of Madden cycle, and I went through it last year on my hunt for a ring that I got in June, and the game came out in August, so I was hunting too. Everyone's just going. They're pushing the rules as far as they can. You know what I mean? They're just like it's within the rules, but it's scum type. So I got tired of it, and I was like, you know what? I want to be able to go out and represent Regot leagues in any kind of. I want to enter a tournament or any league, and if the guy says it's not sim, then all right, bet. I'm good with that. That's how I'm ready to play in that. So I was like, I'm just gonna play freestyle from now on. And I was trying to get Lang to let New Rules rise from the ashes, and either between his schedule and just not wanting to do it, he said he wasn't going to do it. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to create, the Freestyle League. Only rules is no milking the clock and no glitch plays. And I haven't seen to get a glitch play on this year's Madden, but I know they're out there. I'm sure if you Google it, there's somewhere out there. But I remember the old get glitch plays like the QB sneak where you'd hike the ball and the guy's 20 yards upfield and stuff. Well, yeah, just none of that kind of stuff. Just go out there and play football. You know what I mean? If you're good at running the read option and the guy you're playing against can't stop it, then run the read option until he stops it. Like it is what it is. And some people don't like that kind of stuff because they don't feel it's realistic. But in a real football game, a guy's not going to run the same play 8 times in a row because NFL coaches and personnel are going to adjust to it. So it creates that whole, who's really the best? Who really is not benefiting from the rules helping them get W's? And, I've got 2 rings in sim leagues, And I've played in games where a rule has helped me win that game or not be down as much in that game, been able to come back. You know, a guy, it's 4th and 2, he's on the 20, but he's up. He has to kick the field goal. Now I'm only down 4. I come down, kick, and score a touchdown. I win the game. You know, it was sim, it was realistic, but maybe he wanted to go for it, and he felt like he couldn't have because of the rules. Or a guy knows that I struggle versus this play, and he couldn't run that play again because he'd already ran it. Like, so I was just trying to get rid of that whole mantra. And the Freestyle League's been fun. I mean, games are flying. I mean, we had a less than 48-hour advance for the first advance, just advanced it again in 24 hours. Guys are getting these games in because it's fun. They know that going into the game and leaving the game, they're not going to have their Twitter blown up with, oh, you kept doing this, you kept doing that, because that's what the league is. They don't have to worry about hearing cheers and all that stuff. It's just play football. No tears, just play football. That's my mantra going forward with Madden in general. You know, I know some people, well, you know, there's still going to be sim leagues. Of course there's still going to be sim leagues, but, you know, when it comes to May and June, guys are less likely to play sim because they're just trying to win. They're going to push those rules as much as possible. So for me, I wanted to take a step back and let a freestyle league be born. People can just do whatever they want and go get that ring that they want if they feel that their scum or however you want to call it is going to help them get this ring. And that way the sim leagues that are still going and still going strong can stay pure to what they are, because they were great. I mean, they've been going for months now, years and years and years and years. Why ruin those because you don't have a freestyle outlet? So.
And I understand what Dre's saying, because I relinquished my PDL commish because I actually got tired of the tears. Because we had a lot of people who were like, hey, man, I didn't know that's the rule. It's May. We've been playing in these leagues since November, most of us, and some people all the way back in August. I'm like, how do you not know the rules 6 months later? That makes no sense to me. So it just kind of like, I understood what he was doing, because people were just trying to find ways over it. And like, hey, so what if I do this? They were breaking it down. I'm like, why didn't you think about this the whole year? Why are you waiting until May for it to be a big issue? So I understand why there's a need for a freestyle league. I think, honestly, there's probably more of a need for a freestyle league than there is a sim league. Because, and maybe Madden 15, the freestyle league will lead us on, and we'll have sim leagues too. But it brings a balance. And I'll let Dijon talk about it, because he's actually a freestyle league aficionado. He's always he runs in I think it's called C4, Coach K's leagues. He's over there. He's also part of We Got Leagues. Now, he hasn't won a ring over here. I don't know if he did over there, but he's a big proponent of freestyle. So I'll let him talk about it.
Yeah, man. Just to answer the Wayne question, I was in a Super Bowl and lost, so there's parallels to that. You know, Dre knows about losing the Super Bowl. You know, he beat me in the BCCL one. But yeah, I thought there was a need for a balance, just for the simple fact that some people prefer to play sim, and other people prefer to play freestyle. Personally, I did not start playing sim Madden until this time last year, when I first got into these leagues. Thanks to Donnie. Donnie was talking about, hey, you join these Madden leagues, I'm playing really well in it. Really, he was 3-9, but, you know, sometimes you got to brag to your homies, you know, about what they're doing. So, yeah, you know, I figure I'm a big freestyle player because it's just my mindset. Madden is more about mindset than it ever is about skill. You have to have the proper mindset to play either sim or freestyle, whichever one you choose. And I was brought up to play freestyle. It was to don't cry, just lab, stop things during the game, or lab outside the game to stop what's popular. You know, go play in the league, play in the tournament, do your best and win. You know, it was about being the best, and to me, it's still about being the best. When you play in a sim league, like Dre said, I've benefited from rules, and I've also been the victim of certain rules not benefiting me. You know, there are times where it's 4th and inches. I want to go for it. I have the lead, and I want to keep pressing on this lead. I don't want to just kick this field goal. But, you know, I'm up like 17-7 maybe, for an example, and it's 4th and inches, and I can go for this, but I really can't because of the rule, and now I got to take 3. My opponent gets the ball to start the second half, and he gets a possession before halftime. So let's say he gets on 2 big scores, scores a touchdown on both possessions. Now he's up 21-20. You know what I mean? In a game where I was in control of, and I could have been in even further control if I could just go for it. So I understand how the rules are because people do want to play a realistic style of football. I've played football up until the high school level. I think I'm pretty knowledgeable about the game, but that doesn't mean that I want to bring that kind of realism over to the virtual gridiron. I simply don't. So I prefer to play it freestyle because when I go to a tournament, there's no crying at tournaments. If anything, if people are crying about something, it's because a drop pass, a drop pick, or something they didn't do right. It's not because somebody broke the rule, because the rules are explicit. It's 4 minutes, all Madden, no accelerated clock, and whatever the big glitch is out, you can't do it. There's something understood that everybody knows. And because the tournament community is so close-knit, there's a lot of respect. So, like, people, like, there'll be, like, offsides penalties that are fluke that we'll just decline because it's like, that's nothing. Or a pass interference call that obviously it's not pass interference, just decline it and just keep going. You know what I mean? Like, there's no tears. You just sit down, dap up the dude next to you, and you just play football. And that's what I'm a big fan of. I go on the timeline. I'm sure you all go on your timelines every day. Madden timeline is better than the normal timeline just about the majority of the time. And you go on there, and there's always somebody talking about, I can't believe read option is the big thing right now. Like, I can't believe he ran read option this amount of time. For example, I guess Simba had put in his backup quarterback, Pat White, against Donnie, and he ran read option all the way up the field, and I guess with the play action mixed in, and he scored and won the game. And Donnie had went, on Twitter and talked about it, and obviously he felt some type of way. Because if you don't feel a way about something, you just tell the guy, good game, you played well, and you move on. Obviously, he felt really upset that he put in Pat White, ran read option with a play action mixed in, and got scored on. So, he had the backhanded compliment, the backhanded, you couldn't move the ball all game, so you put in a fast quarterback and scored. And I'm simply just tired of the tears, dog. If you know Pat White is in the game, what do you think is coming? He's not going to throw dots on you. He's finna run read option. So what do? You come out in your best read option D. You crash the running back or you contain the quarterback. And you go from there. You have to get involved as a user to stop plays. You know what I mean? Like some people want the computer.
Say that again. Say that again, please.
Yeah.
What, D-John?
I'm just saying, as a user,
you gotta get involved as a user.
Get involved.
As a user,
Gotta get involved.
Go, finish your statement, but I'm gonna touch on that when you're done. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, yeah. I was just saying, man, as a user, you just gotta get involved. The computer is not going to do everything for you. It's as simple as that. There's a reason why we have the read option keys. There's a reason why we can do defensive hot routes on the field. There's a reason why you can do all that. I personally don't run plays stock half the time. I'm like, oh, I'll man up a safety, or I'll put a guy in a purple here just because I know what's coming. And people want the computer to do everything for them. And I'm like, yo, it's not going to happen. Like, if you know a guy's going to run an out route on third and 5, and you know that's a popular play, why don't you just go stand over there and stop it? Make him go to read 2. Make him go to read 3. Send a blitz. Do something, man. I'm just tired of people crying on the timeline every single day about stuff that can be stopped. But they refuse to adjust. And I think that's the big thing I know that Dre kind of wants to touch on now.
Yeah, with the read option thing, man, like, you come out on defense, you hit the left trigger, I believe. It's the left trigger. At the bottom, it says read option play QB, read option play running back. That right there helps you as a user. You pick one. Okay, his quarterback's 70 speed, his running back's 99. So I want the defense to watch the running back. Now, that means everybody's going to go follow the running back. So as a user, what should you do? Go take somebody and wait for the quarterback just in case he keeps it. Wow, you have now user stop the read option. It's just, I don't understand the mental process of why it's so difficult. Guys are like, oh, well, in real life, you don't have to tell a guy to contain and da-da-da. There's a lot of stuff that happens in real life that doesn't happen on the video game. That these guys,
that just shows a lot of people put their controller down on defense.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm not going to say no name, but you can come out and run your offensive play and see who the guy is controlling on defense and look at his movements, and you know those are computer movements. You just know they are. Yeah. You know they are. You know the difference between a user controlling the safety and what he's doing and how the computer backs up the safety. And we'll just leave it at that. Same thing with this whole, hand the ball off to the running back, let the computer run for you on that too. There's guys who do that. That's never going to stop. They're never going to admit it. It is what it is. But as far as this defense and when it's in the freestyle, like, you got to get involved as a user. And if you can't get involved as a user, you're going to struggle forever. I mean, I'm in a freestyle. Like, I'm 0-2 right now and having the time of my life because after every game, it's a good game, bruh. And moving on. I got to improve here, got to improve here. Just having fun, man. Just trying out new playbooks, trying out new plays. Oh, this works. I'm running it again. Okay, he's stopping it now. Like the chess match. That's what's fun about it. You know what I mean? So I'm loving it, man. But people got to take some responsibility as a user and say, you know what? I don't want the all-mad computer to bail me out. You know what I mean? If a guy wants to run man all game, get your 2-3 best plays that beat that man defense and run them things till he come out that man defense. I mean, just do it. Now you're no longer limited to you can't run that play again on the next 2 downs, but the guy's still running that same man defense that you can't beat or that same zone that you can't beat without that one play. Yeah, you should expand your plays to beat that zone, but yeah, he needs to change his defenses up also. So it's getting back to that pure of, you know, like Dijon was saying, good game, I beat you with my best, or you beat me with your best, and then that's it. So, Shaggy, I know you're in the freestyle league. I want to know how you feel about it. You played a couple games. I think you've even won one of yours.
The way I feel about that is, y'all know, jokes is jokes, game's a game. I am a persistent bottom dweller. That being said, I never fucking complain about anything because at the end of the day, it's a game, and it's my responsibility to stop you from scoring. If I can't stop you from scoring, I won't win. That's the thing. People can say, "Hey, I'm running read option all game." I don't care. If you're gonna run read option all game, I better stop it. Because if I don't, then what's the problem? Then it's on me, not you, for running the play. Now I can understand the dude's running the same play, running the same 4 plays a game, but hey, he's running the same 4 plays. That just means 1 out of the 4 is coming, so you know what to look for.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, Dijon, when I play you, and you shake and bake me all over the field, I ain't gonna get mad. I ain't gonna get mad that you caught like buck sweep like 3 times. I should have stopped it about 2 out of the 3 times, but I didn't. I can't. That's not on you. That's on me. Not stopping it. I don't understand why these cats complain if dude's gonna run a spread offense. It's the same thing about custom playbooks. Now the only problem with custom playbooks is, me personally, my only problem with custom playbooks, load times. That's it. That's it. If you're gonna use a custom playbook against me, go right ahead. I don't care. That just means, hey, you got a certain play style that you like running. You don't like using I formation. That's fine. I don't care. Let it run. I'm gonna do my best to stop you. That's how I see everything. I'm more of a sim guy, but if you want to go for it on 4th down, if it calls for it, I'm all right with it. But if you want to go for, now sometimes it's just silly. If you're gonna go for 4th down and you on your damn 30, why would you do that? Are you retarded? I'm just saying you huh?
If you can't stop me, I'm running it then, bruh.
You know what'd be cool though about custom playbooks? If we made everybody who has custom playbooks, made them upload them so we could look at them, and then like take the plays and put the play names in YouTube and see if we see them on YouTube. Like that would be fun.
YouTube.
Like you want to use your custom playbook, fine. Upload it, let us see it, and then go from there. You know what I mean?
Like, I want to see is Hefe's. That's the first one I want to see. I want to see how.
No, I'll give you this about Hefe. Hefe tells y'all to Twitch every game because he watches what y'all do and the plays that you work. He scouts everybody and he takes you guys.
He really does.
He takes you guys' plays. He really does. Like, I would be surprised if his didn't have any YouTube stuff in it. Yeah. Unless somebody else does. He literally watches every game. That's why he stresses people to Twitch. So he can see what plays, how they work, and then he goes and labs them.
Yeah, it's a game, my G. That's hard, and that's understandable. If you want to see how you play, that's fine. I would do it if the Twitches are up. But if I play you a certain amount of times, I kind of already know how you're gonna play, and you already know how I'm gonna play. I have the misfortune of playing sim everywhere I go. I'm predictable as hell. You know, that's fine. But if you're gonna, and it's like, but I play my games. If I can beat you with how my play style is, you're gonna come back. You're gonna learn and you're gonna go from it. But with the thing, what mind boggles me to this day is just why even play if you're gonna complain?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta
wanna win.
understand.
Because I want to win. That's why, Shaggy, I want to win, bruh.
You can win. I don't care.
But you know why we get the complaints? Because we are a group of people who pretty much been together for the last 3 years. Like we're not just on the internet. We almost like a family. So it's going to come out.
But see, that's the thing, buddy. If you gonna run something against me, and I think it's trash, I'm gonna call you out on it. But at the same time, if I know you're gonna do said trash, what's the point? I might call you. I might call you like some derogative name later, but other than that, what's the point? You know, just it's mostly, and I feel as though because of the new followers too, the new people are in our league. They see this, they're like, hey, he's not following the rules, or like, hey, or it's us saying, what's this new guy doing? Why is he running this game? Why is he running with Alex Smith? I mostly, and you know what I think it is? It's our pride and our manhood that bothers us. Because we see dudes like, okay, going back, we go see dudes like Alex Smith running for 150 yards. And we're like, that's not what Alex Smith does in the game, and why did I let this quarterback beat me? We not mad at you, we're mad at ourselves, but we taking it out on you for letting it happen.
No, I personally don't think it's that. It's like when you scout a team, you're not going to scout Alex Smith running the ball.
No, because you scouting a player. That's how I lost against Delhi.
Just in the game.
I lost against Delhi.
Like I don't see too many people like read optioning with.
Well, no, I'm just making a point though. I'm just making a point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it could be other things. But going back to what you said, that's how I lost this current game against Delhi because I actually thought he was going to run the ball. I was looking for him to run the ball the entire game. I was like, he's going to run the ball. We had the exact same amount of run yards. But he beat me in passing. I was like, holy hell, I didn't know he was going to pass. I was not prepared for that. Because I'm going off of hearsay and what I see in stats and everything else. He beat me square and fair. I wasn't mad at him. I'm just saying, like, damn, I should have just probably looked at it better, you know, so I can understand. Learn my opponent, you know. If he plays a certain way, and Dijon, I know he plays 3 different ways.
Trash, trash, and trash.
Trash, ringless, and confused. Yeah. You know, it's what happened. Like, Dijon, it's been games that you should have been won over me. Now, granted, you have beaten me every time we played, but at the same time, I'm like, why is he letting me get away with this? And he's just sitting there like, bro, I don't even know what happened. It's come down to the wire. Because I'm not clutch.
I ain't gonna get on Dijon too much. I think when he gets to the playoffs, he overthinks.
He does. You do, bro. You overthink. I never think, and that's why I'm 0-16.
Yeah. I tell you, just to kind of touch on that, man. I was telling Dre this the other day when we were laughing. When I get to the playoffs, I wouldn't say I fold, even though when I lose. I think what happens is that I kind of become a little calculated, a little too calculated. Like, I know what my opponent is doing, and I'll just kind of stand in certain places and totally disregard other things. Like, you know, the first 2 weeks in the freestyle league, I'm just running whatever. Like, I'm looking at the phone, you know, testing people, just playing free. And I think I kind of need to get back to that when the playoffs come. As far as that goes, I just think that, you know, we were touching on the freestyle league and custom playbooks, and I know we had a vote for custom playbooks. I think that some people that voted against them had their reasons. Like, some people didn't want to see like 50 strong powers in one book. You know, some people didn't want to see, you know, a pure Bill Belichick offense morph into Jim Harbaugh's pistol power run with still, you know, Patriot formations in it. And I totally understand. You know what I mean? Now, personally, I voted to keep them because I like to have audibles, you know, a few other formations here or there. But at the same time, I do see some people that voted against custom playbooks thinking it wouldn't improve their chances of winning, and people are still losing. Those same people are still losing. And I think that just comes down to this. Custom playbook or no custom playbook, custom audibles or stock audibles, some people, it's not the playbooks, not the custom playbooks. It's how they play. It's their skill.
Exactly. And that's why I don't mind the custom playbooks, man, because whenever plays you're going to run, if you're better at running with the custom playbook. You're just gonna have a playbook that has the run plays that you like.
Right.
And if I know you're gonna run, that's what I better be focusing on because that's all you're gonna do.
Right.
Simple as that. You know, you might have a couple pass plays in there, but it doesn't matter. The playbook is not who you are; it's how your play style is.
Right. Yeah, I think that's why Hefe is one of the people kind of rag on him too much because I think he's one of the best players in the league because he can play both. He can absolutely play both styles with no custom and still beat the majority of the league. You know, like, that's the thing. Like, that's the thing. You know, people kind of rag on him about, you know, he's running a custom. I've seen him play with a stock playbook and still beat the hell out of people, you know, using different runs, different pass plays. Like, I think at the end of the day, people who are losing, regardless of the play style, need to kind of look in the mirror and be like, yo, is it really my opponent or is it me?
And it'd be you.
That's what Hefe did. That's what Hefe did.
Yeah.
And
Hefe used to lose all the time, so he went in the mirror and he was like, "Hey, bro, I'm tired of losing." His mirror image looked back at him and said, "Me too." So he opened up YouTube, found some plays that work.
YouTube, you.
Now Hefe is good, man. The custom playbook thing. When people say it's for the audible, this is what I want to talk about. I love the audible system. I feel like it's one of the best audible systems ever stock because you can switch formations so seamlessly. Mm-hmm. What do you guys not like about the audible system that makes you guys say you need a custom for audible? Because I think that's shenanigans.
I feel like that's fine. I don't think everybody knew that until we said that last week on the podcast that you could actually switch. I think people did not know that when you came on the audible, I think they thought you had to go between those 4 plays that they give you, sometimes 3.
That's crazy, though.
That's crazy.
But you know what, though? It's a lot of people that don't push buttons in the game. Like, they don't. They snap the ball, they run towards the quarterback, they cover somebody, they don't push the other buttons. They don't know.
That right there is actually how I beat Dre. Because my last drives are changing audibles on the fly. Like, every time I do that, that's actually how I score. That's actually how I score my my audibles are changed on the fly between whatever comes up. How I do it. It depends on what I'm running. You're not gonna know I'm gonna run.
Literally stock. You have, depending on the formation, like 12 to 20 plays you can audible to.
Yep.
Because it's 4 plays times to every many formations. So if you come out something that's like a 2-wide receiver, 2 tight end, that junk can switch to so much. It can take you to shotgun. It can take you to pistol. It can take you to so much, man.
Now, let me tell you what I mean when I say I kind of wanted a custom playbook for audibles. I'm aware of you being able to switch formations because of the personnel groupings are the same. What I mean by that is, like, let's say, like, you guys know how I play. I like bunch formations. I'm a huge fan of compression sets. Like, I run bunch weak or bunch strong. I'm not a fan of the halfback mid-draw line because sometimes, depending on your offensive line and the ball carrier vision, you run a draw and you usually get hit in the backfield by your own lineman half the time. I personally like to run halfback base instead.
Okay, hey, before you go that far, let me ask you a question, Dijon. Do you like any of the passing plays in that?
I do. Okay.
So if you do, why don't you come out in the halfback base and then audible to something else? If you're coming back to a no huddle, that halfback base is your normal play. Like, it's certain. You see what I'm saying? It's certain things you can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I do that. I do.
I think we lost
custom playbooks because it's customs. So we can't use customs in C4. So you got to use the stock book and go with it. So I'm doing that now. Like, if there's a play I want to come out in, I just come out in the play, and then what I do now, like when I'll lab with friends, we will lab the stock audibles and be like, yo, what route combinations that we can hot route to that makes this play really good. And once that happens, then it's like, okay, I don't need a custom playbook now. Like, there are 4 playbooks I can run completely stock, no audibles that are custom, and just run with it because we've labbed the stock audibles and we've labbed what to come out in, and it works just fine. But I will say, when we weren't outlawing custom playbooks, I got a little spoiled because now plays that I had to come out in were the 4 audibles that you were audible to. So, and it kind of clouds your play calls because I see people, they got like 300 something plays in the book. Or I saw, I think it's Monday. I think Monday has a crazy custom playbook, like 30 formations and got like 2 plays in each formation. Like, to me, that's too much. I don't need that because it's too many options. There is such thing as having too many options. So I think running with stock playbooks is fine. People just have to adjust how they play. They need to adjust to what their game plan is. And most importantly, they need to adjust to their opponent during the game. Hate to break it to you, but you tweeting on the timeline as your opponent is calling the play, it's not going to help you get any better at the game. All you're doing is just crying.
I tweeted against Dijon in the Super Bowl. What happened?
Hey, it happens. It happens, man. Sometimes it works, but you know.
No, it used to work all the time. Now, no one. It doesn't work anymore because y'all know I've been using my psychology degree. But I used to tweet stuff like, "Oh, here he come, wasting the clock," and he should waste the clock. It's a minute left, and I ain't got no timeouts.
Yeah. Hey, that psychology degree, it really is messing a whole lot of people up. I'm not gonna lie. There are some people that you play on Twitch and will tweet while the game is being twitched, and their whole play style changes. Like, it literally flips, and I'm like, damn, he did it again. Crazy.
Cheating.
I would have won 3 Super Bowls, but Solomon exposed my psychology degree, and no one listened to me no more.
Oh.
But
oh, blast, man.
All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and get into this top 10 list and let everybody get back to enjoying their Memorial Day weekend.
Hold on. This week we're gonna go
backwards this week.
Let's go from the bottom to the top, Dre. 10 to 1.
We'll go bottom to the top. There was a good suggestion from, I believe, Florida last week. So let's go bottom to the top. So, starting off at number 10. Buddy, go ahead and start us off at number 10 while I pull it up.
Number 10, we'll go with he tweets the wrong people. Don't let him follow your woman because he'll DM her. Munch player. Munch comes in at number 10. He went 7-3 this week. He did pretty good last week, too. He's been on a good little run, been making the playoffs. So, welcome Munch to the top 10. Dre, who you got at number 9?
Number 9, we got to go with Mr. I'll trade you an AP for your woman. Disconnect after I was trying to come back and win, but I saw I threw an interception. My man, Florida. Florida would have been higher than where he's at right now. We had to drop him a couple spots for that whole disconnect situation. Regardless of the details of why or whatever the case may be, that's just something that you just don't do.
No Twitter.
The Twitter jokes after this incident might have been top 5 funniest things I've seen all month. So I guess I give him a bow for that. But yeah, number 9, Florida, salute. Who we got number 8, buddy?
We got Mr. Come on,
buddy. Got his mic. Unmute your mic, bro.
Mississippi. I'm not muted. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me now?
No, there you go. Now, okay, because you were talking and we couldn't hear you. Yeah, okay. We hear you.
Next, we got Mr.
Now we can't hear you. I'm guessing he's talking about Simba.
Go ahead, Dre. You do it.
What is going on?
I don't know what's going on.
Dre.
Like next we got. Hey, get out of here, dog! Stop being light skinned, bro. He's like, next we got.
Coming in at 3, we have.
All right, number 8, we got Mr. Come On, Bruh, a.k.a. Old Face. Simba had an amazing week. He's been putting the Come On, Bruhs and the tears to the left and putting his game in the front center. And if he sees you doing something, rather than complain about it, he just going to beat it until you stop running it. He got some victories over some Super Bowl champs this week. Some victories over some solid players, so congratulations to Simba at number 8. Number 7 is Joker, a.k.a. for Madden only. Just once again, just staying solid, man. I mean, he jumped into the Freestyle League, and he's always solid gameplay for him. I'm not sure right now, off top, what I would say he needs to make that push to number 5, maybe in an undefeated week or something like that. But he's always right there. You know, you playing him, it's not an easy game. He's pulling out fourth quarter clutch wins. He does it all. So congratulations to Joker. Buddy, is your mic back yet, or I gotta keep going?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So
out of him.
What are we on? Number 6.
Number 6.
Number 6, we got QB Hitman. Went 5-1 this week. We was elated that he got to run his scum in the freestyle league because he's one of those people who carefully forgets the rules whenever he wants to forget them. But we got QB at number 6. So I guess I'll take number 5 too. At number 5, we got Trail. He went 5-1 this week. That loss was to me, but he's been on the mean streak. He's got those BCCL Bills ready to go. He's got those Freestyle League Saints over there running. So definitely he deserves that number 5 slot.
Yeah.
Dre, who you got at number 4?
At number 4, we got Jadeveon Clowney. You know, he's been playing well. You know, he had a great combine for the NFL. He got taken number 1 by the Houston Texans, and then doing that, he's been playing great on the Madden field, picking it up in BCCL. He's in all 4 leagues, I want to say, all 4, right? Yeah, just consistent, good to go in all of them.
He's making a playoff push too in BCCL too. He's won 4 straight.
You know. So he's trying to make that push into that top 3. He needs some playoff victories past the wild card round to get there. Maybe this will be the year. We'll see. Coming in at number 3. Now this top 3 race was super tight. This top 3 race was probably the tightest that it's been in quite some time. Since maybe we did the original rankings. No, the original rankings it wasn't even this tight. This top 3 race this week has been crazy. So I'll let Buddy hit us with number 3.
Budrick.
What is he doing?
Go ahead, Dre.
What is he doing? We're talking to him.
Go ahead.
At number 3, we got Solomon. Another amazing week. I believe he only had 1 loss this week. That's 2 losses since the initial rankings came out. Would have been number 2, but the guy at number 2, he played, I want to say this morning, maybe yesterday, and he lost to him. And he's been having a great week as well. That's my man Chef, a.k.a. Man Defense Only. Chef has been just killing. Chef has been just killing since the rankings came out. He just stayed humble, letting his talk on the field speak for itself. He'll get his jokes in every now and then on the timeline, but he's really just kicking butt on the field, and that's great. And the number one player we got leagues this week, no surprise. This guy only loses when he lets someone win. That's how you know you really the best right now. Your only loss is when you say, you know what, bruh, I'm going to let you have this one. You know what I mean? You had the best video in the world. I'm going to let you have this one. My man Brandon been on a mission, in BCCL, took his first loss. No Tears League, he been on fire. The new Freestyle League, he's on fire. PDL, he's on fire. Just killing all around. So, Brandon, well-deserved number 1 ranking. He said he ain't going to lose no more games either this next week coming up. So, he'll probably be back here again because maybe we might be Super Bowl time. Super Bowl time next week. You never know, depending on how fast these leagues are advancing. I think BCCL will be there because so many playoff spots are already clinched. There's nothing really to play for, a lot left. So I think that may be there. Hopefully we'll be doing some Super Bowl stuff next week. Any final words, D-John? Instant reactions to the rankings?
I think the rankings are great. You know, we all came to a pretty, consensus on everything. As far as Brandon goes, him throwing that game, he lost that game. But he's been playing so good, man. The BCCL playoffs are going to be great. Everybody's going to continue to play well, and I know for myself personally, I just got to continue to make that push up there and top, part of the rankings, and trying to get my name up there in top 3.
All right, my man God, what's the guy's name? Theodore Huxtable, Malcolm Jamal Warner, a.k.a. Asante Samuel,
Wow.
a.k.a. Desmond Trufant.
He got a whole list. He got a list of dudes with dreadlocks, and he's just going down them lists. Just going like
You're lucky I can't think of the guy that plays for the Pirates. I'm gonna have that ready next week.
Andrew
Andrew
McCutcheon.
McCutcheon.
Andy McCutcheon. How you feel about the rankings and any final words you want to leave us with?
I go out and say thanks for joining. Well, we got leagues, or the MLB. We will have stuff in the future, especially when hockey season comes around. We'll have that on lock. And also, for the rankings, I actually had Florida top 5 up until he quit quit gate. So hey, that's on you, bro. We don't do that in Florida. Cut that out. Congrats to Daryl and Simba with his non-breathing ass to make it like getting a little higher in the list. Dijon, of course, I had you. And the only thing is, I accidentally had Brandon off my list because of because I'm not in the other leagues to see his record, so I couldn't really. I took him off only because I thought he was out of those, or he just because But that was my mistake. He was on my list initially. Other than that, that seems actually fine, except for Munch. I know I'm better than Munch. You ain't winning that division. That's all I'm telling you. Straight on. Ain't no way in hell. This will be saved for later dates. You are not winning that division, Munch. No. Nope. You better sweep me. Because if you don't sweep me, I swear, I will never shut up. I don't even talk noise, but I'm talking it now. Better beat me. You better beat me.
Oh, that's funny.
Buddy, any instant reactions to the rankings? You being unable to crack the top 10? I know that's painful for you.
Yeah. 2 weeks in a row I've been in contention and I couldn't do it, so I just gotta get it together. I got the Chiefs running, so we're doing good. I'm ready to knock it out and surprise some people. I'm probably gonna have the hardest road to the Super Bowl that anybody would ever have once these playoffs start in the BCCL. But if I do it, please don't nobody say a word to me. Please don't, because I'm not gonna want to hear it.
So what you're saying is that you have it's almost like a perfect game. We can't say nothing until you actually do it, huh?
Pretty much. Once I do it, if I do it, you're not gonna be able to see it. I think I'm going some of the top. I think I have to go through at least everybody in the top 5 right now will be who I would most likely have to go through to win the Super Bowl.
Now, would you make a SkyDrive video? Would you make a SkyDrive video dance if you won a Super Bowl? We haven't seen one of those since my Super Bowl, man. To be honest. Hello?
I'm gonna bring the kid. If I win dancing, everything. We gonna the whole.
My man, Buddy.
Boy, he's on that kung fu filter.
Did you guys see that he lied about his internet quality, folks? Do y'all see this?
Hey, it's on record.
No, I don't think that's me.
He twit-picked someone else's.
Oh, so now y'all can't hear me.
Someone else's internet speed, dog.
I think it's somebody else in here, but we're gonna.
It's on record.
All right, we'll close this out, Jay.
All right, well, thank you guys for coming out. All right, well, yeah, thank you guys for coming out to another Hangout with We Got Leagues. Appreciate you listening in. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and bike. Don't drink and skateboard. Don't drink and hang around and fall asleep with your shoes on. None of that stuff, man. Be safe. Have fun. Enjoy some ribs. Watch the football games. And always remember, we got leagues. And we out.